Welcome back. More than a decade ago, the Cordish Company launched an $85 million movie restaurant development called Towson Square. You may have been there. Well, since then, the development has been sold twice. And today, while the movie theater still draws crowds, all the restaurants are gone. So what happened? Reporter Rona Cobell with our media partner, the Baltimore Banner, is here with some answers. She just filed a report on the demise of Towson Square. So what happened here? Is this the wrong business model? Was it the clientele? What are the factors here?
I think there's a combination of factors, Denise, like there always are when you see closures. But this particular development was kind of cut off in the way it was designed from the rest of the restaurants in Towson. And they had a lot of chain restaurants where there were local restaurants that were preferred. So, for example, there was an On the Border, but there's also a really great taco place that's local called Pappy's, and there's a Banditos. So, they had to compete with those local places. Parking is also an issue in Towson. As you know, it's an issue everywhere. And when people have to pay for validation, sometimes they're not that excited. Even if the parking is just $2, they would rather, if they're going to drive to the suburbs, they would rather the parking be free. So I think it was a combination of factors that led to the closing.
You talk about the history of the ownership of Towson Square, and you talk about Kite Realty, which I guess is the current owner. It's very interesting, sort of not caring and also not worrying about the loss of profit. How could that be?
It's fascinating. It's this phenomenon called a non-recourse loan. So if you don't pay back your loan, if you default on your loan, you don't have to pay back the money. Instead, you just forfeit your property. So this company, if they can't pay back whatever they borrowed, the bank gets Towson Square. It doesn't get $85 million. And so the incentive is to allow these things to sort of just dwindle and fall away because you have dozens of other malls. So you're making money in New Jersey, you're making money in Nevada. You can afford to lose a little bit of money in Towson because it's amortized over all of your investors, so you don't really feel it. Whereas the local developer I talked to, Wayne Gioso, he uses non-recourse loans as well, but he puts his own money in. So if that were his business, he would see, I need to get those restaurants rented.
Right. And of course, it's not good for the community any way you look at it to have empty spaces like that. Very quickly, what's the future here?
Well, I think you're right. It's a perception issue, and there's a perception of crime that I think is not really based in reality. I live right near Towson. I walk in Towson all the time. My kids walk in Towson. And there's a few things that could happen. For one, there could possibly be a bill in the county council to basically restrict how long these developments could be vacant. So you would be forced to get tenants and not just leave it vacant like that. Also, if you had it vacant for a certain amount of time, maybe you would have to sell it. So also there's things that you can do to sort of make Towson more attractive, better landscaping, so it doesn't look quite so brutalist, with all that concrete. But I mean, basically, it's kind of the crown jewel of Baltimore County, and everybody wants to fix it. And so I think people are putting their heads together and trying to figure out what to do.
All right, thank you, Rona, for joining us. A lot more to learn if you read her story. To do so, and also other good independent reporting from our media partner, the Baltimore Banner, head to thebaltimorebanner.com. Cutter.